Hey everyone, this is Louey7 and I am streaming The Lord of the Rings Online. I am going to be playing Loueyden the Warden, and my playback is all messed up on my screen, so hopefully it looks normal. Because I started the stream just on OBS a little bit early, just because then I can see if there's any drop frames or issues with it, and playback is all messed up, but I'll see how that actually goes. If I can refresh the page and see how that loads. But anyway, you should be seeing me crafting right now on Loueyden. I am just going to wrap up some crafting, and I thought I could go ahead and start the stream early. It looks like I need lumps of rich coal. I don't know if there's a supplier here. I went here. I have all these UI panels open, so it's kind of hard to see. Maybe I can hide my UI if I can refresh the page. Here we go. Okay, it looks like the stream started like it should. So that's okay. But I am starting a little bit early. I know I had it scheduled for 9:30 my time and started at around 9:10. But I thought I could, just because I was ready to play LOTRO early, I thought I could go ahead and start it. And with starting it as a morning stream, I wasn't really sure when I would be ready this morning, so I did kind of a rough guess, and I was ready pretty early this morning. So it looks like I need to find a supplier, so I'm going to go to the crafting hall, unless this one's a supplier. I really can't tell with all these. Yeah, there is a supplier here. Nice. I can't tell with all these UI panels open, but just because I have so many, I would like to keep them open because it takes a little bit to get back open after that. But anyway, that's why I'm keeping all this stuff open. So I want to buy lumps of rich coal, which I thought I actually had those in my shared storage, so I can look at that. But I thought I could start this early while I'm crafting, because that is something I forgot I had to do on this character once again. Yeah, I did. I had lumps of rich coal the whole time anyway, but I thought I could talk a little bit about Loueyden, the series, and just where it will be going in the future. Because one thing with this character and a series like this is I don't usually play the characters that much off stream. So that's going to be a little bit odd. Maybe I still will play him off the stream, kind of like my other characters, like my regular characters in LOTRO that aren't based on a stream series, or Loueyden was a let's play. But even with the let's play and the new live streams on him, I haven't had anything that's been off stream on him. So that's just one thing I guess I have to think about with the series. And just to let you all know a little bit what's going on with that. Looks like I need to make exactly 10 of these, and I won't need to buy any more Kalinard Skarn, which is good because it is crazy expensive, but I'm not sure the Rittermark Skarn, which I believe is the next one. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, that one doesn't look like it's any better priced. I did have some medium grade Rittermark Skarn, it looks like, or not Skarn, but medium grade ingots already made, so I can go ahead and use those. Actually, I should probably save those and see what I get with the Skarn. So that is 3 times the price. Definitely not worth getting that, but yeah, I'm fine spending my gold on this stuff, but it really is, some of it's more expensive than I thought. At this point, I thought it would be getting more expensive to where it's even 2 gold per Skarn. And I know it's relatively easy to get, but it's just kind of crazy with the price here. And trying to, especially if I was trying to master the crafting. So maybe I'll start off with 25 and just see where that gets me. I don't think I will get anywhere near what I actually need, but can go ahead and see where it gets me. So just because I am starting this with the crafting, I haven't done too much crafting on stream. I was just talking about I haven't done anything off stream with this character while I've done all this crafting off stream. And I've talked about that during the streams, but that's mostly just sitting here and having all these UI panels open, buying stuff from the auction house, the nice mobile one that the VIPs have. But I think it's also a good idea, or a good time to talk about crafting. Well, I thought there were some other things I want to talk about with Loueyden in general, but as far as this stream goes, I haven't actually talked about that. I plan to get back to the Black Book of Mordor, so I'm on chapter 13.2, and I kind of just finished Mordor Besieged. I'm honestly not entirely sure. I might go back there, I might not. But as far as I know, I'm actually done with Mordor Besieged, but I thought I could potentially be going back. But anyway, the point is with this stream, I'm going to continue the Black Book of Mordor because it looks like that will be an actual focus for a while. I probably need to buy 50 more because that didn't even get me halfway. Hopefully I only need to buy 50 more. I have 570 gold I have left to spend on crafting. Oh, did I not? I didn't buy 3 of these, did I? I have won 2 auctions. I don't know, maybe I just didn't collect my mail from earlier. I might actually have too many now, but that's okay as well. We'll see. I'm not actually sure that I have too many. Should be good, but anyway, yeah, with today's stream, I'm not entirely sure where it will end up going after like I do the Beorning lands part of chapter 13.2 here. So we'll see where it goes after, and I'm kind of expecting to get to the Morgul Vale, but in general with this stream, I don't expect to be going too long. Just because it is like a morning stream, and as far as like morning goes, I'm more of a morning person, so I like to get things done, and not that streaming's not like doing a useful thing. I think it is fun to do, but I guess I'm used to saving it for the evening would be a better way to put it than saying I like to do it in the evening, because I do like to do it in the evening, but whatever I just said, I totally forgot where my train of thought was going there. But the point is I have to get used to doing morning streams, and hopefully some EU viewers, I know there are a few people who used to watch my streams, or at least watch my streams even in the middle of their night, so hopefully it's a better time for people like that. And hey Ozcrow, I do recognize you, you're on my regular stream time. So Earlingas, it looks like I already had a few from my alts, but not that much. I'll have to buy some Earlinga Skarn here. So I keep getting sidetracked and not really talking about something consistently, but to go back to crafting, ooh, these are cheap, or at least that stack is very cheap. So I'll go ahead and snatch that one up, and then we can, just because I have so many, I think we can just see where that gets me. But yeah, to jump back to the crafting topic, I thought it would be interesting to show a little bit just how I'm doing as I try to get my way, buy my way really to Minas Ithil. I do have some various Skarns, and I have a ton of high grade Anorian Skarns, so things like that should help that I have in my inventory. Hey Sayanium, he said, hi Louie, hope you're having a good day, and I am having a good day so far. Yesterday was a little bit crazy with everything that was going on, but I got to where I was streaming LOTRO, and that was fun and relaxing after the day. But I still have things to do. Have to do some cleaning today. It's something I usually do in the morning, to go back to the topic of the time of the stream. But I also like the idea, at least, of trying to fit in a morning stream or two. So I will need some more Eorlinga Skarn. I guess I'll have to, unfortunately, buy one of the expensive ones. Now I feel like I'm actually like running low on gold. I do have some of my alts, but I don't really want to spend a good chunk of this stream like just bouncing around my alts and sending this character gold, because I'm pretty sure I did most of that already, and only a few alts might have like a big chunk. Probably my bank alt, who I don't really use as a bank alt too much, just because I don't play on the server too much. But anyway, that one probably has most of my gold, and I also have my Hobbit gifts open, so I can do that and fill up my inventory with that stuff. There's 4 gold, that will help. Okay, so this will give me, I think it'll be pretty close, but I think I will, wait, why can I, oh, I need more Rittermark coal. I was like, why does it keep going down the high grade I can craft as I'm making more of the medium grade? I probably should have made one fewer, then I could have just done 20 of the high grade, but trying to keep all these UI panels open and talk to the supplier so I can get a bunch of Rittermark coal. Going way too far, not paying attention to where I'm scrolling. 250 is okay. And that'll give me plenty left over I can like put in my shared storage. But yeah, I actually ended up with quite a bit extra as far as the materials I have. But I think I did need that last 50 chunk that I bought, so I need to make 20 of these and then we'll be set. With the good old rapid crafting, this only takes like 20 seconds, so that's another reason I don't mind actually doing the crafting on the stream now. Gives me something easy to start the stream. And it doesn't actually take that long anymore. So done with Eastamnet. My inventory is getting pretty full, so maybe I will try to find... I just sorted it and I always have trouble finding this. I'll go ahead and sell a little bit more of what I don't really want at all anymore. Probably don't need an evade rating since a yellow one like that. Alright, I just wanted a few spots freed up, but getting a little bit more as just I see vendor junk. Don't need to repair. Alright, so Anorian tier, I have plenty just by doing my high grade Anorian. So I'll go ahead and just do that alone. I forgot Anorian's also when you could do processing for the actual like gathering crafting vocation thing. The Vocations Explorer, these are like whatever crafting things. I'm pretty sure that's the way they're named. But with these, I only need to make 105, so this one is going to be a little bit of sitting here, not doing much. With Doomfold, is Doomfold the upcoming one? I think it is Doomfold. And then there's Ironfold, and then finally I'll be at Minas Morgul, just to confirm, yeah. Doomfold, I do not have much, so I will need a bunch of Doomfold Scarn. So we can go ahead and look at that and get that out of the filter. Doomfold looks cheap, which is good, probably because it's a more recent thing and just more people have been getting it and probably not as annoying to go out, like venture out and get, is my guess as why they are cheaper. But that's really good news to me because I will probably need that 100 stack, and with the processing that should be good. If I was really interested in mastering all these, which I actually am interested in mastering all of them just to be more complete, it would take a lot of farming and a lot more gold, so maybe way in the future, but for now I will just focus on getting them done. And I am getting a little bit of XP, but because I'm like level 123 and you need so much XP, you need over 7 million XP to level up. These are giving close to 300 each. It's not like it's giving me a ton of XP, but it is giving me a little bit after I craft 100. 105, it's close to like 30,000 XP, which isn't much, but it again is like a tiny bit at least. It's like 1% of what I already have, roughly. So it would maybe noticeably move the bar a little bit further into the level text there. I don't know how much you all can really see that, but it's just something interesting as that goes on. Oh, I was thinking I crafted one too few somehow. It's like that should not have worked out that way. So you can do the bulk crafting, you kind of get that by default. It looks like starting with the with one of these tiers, maybe an Orient is when you like default get the bulk smelting, but that gives you way less crafted XP, so I'm more interested in just making a bunch of Doomfold ingots individually like this. One thing I can do while I am crafting is go to the Legendary Forge. Oh, I'm too busy to do that right now. Now I can do the Legendary Forge, and it's more fun to craft floating in the air, I think, anyway. But it's hard to tell with like all the UI panels. I feel like I'm playing like Lord of the Rings UI online. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just the way crafting works. You spend a lot of time. It's the same thing with auction house and banking and storage and all that stuff. You spend more time, I think, focusing on the user interface rather than what's going around in the game. But anyway, what was I even doing? Oh yeah, I was going to reforge all my stuff. And I'm still not sure if I actually want a bridle. I don't think I do for my war steed. The main reason I want it is if it would somehow increase my defenses and decrease my chance of getting knocked off. But I'm not sure it would actually work that way. So with these, I don't really care too much what legacies I get. I'm just doing this to put whatever item XP I get to use. So I can go ahead and identify all these warden ones. I will destroy, I guess, that third age bridle and actually filter it. This character already has quite a few allies filtered. It's pretty crazy, but that should mean I'm starting to hopefully get fewer of the ones I don't need. And I almost even have like too many warden ones. But I'm just trying to get my item XP, put it to use. Then with the mobile, like item forge thing, Forge Master thing from the VIP Town Services, it should go fairly quick. So this gives 16, I need 300. So I need about 20 of these made, maybe one less. And I think once I make I'm making shavings right now. Oops. I totally did that backwards. I thought I was making full metal shavings, or I thought I was making shavings and then I would go back to ingot, but I was making ingots the whole time. So now is when I need to see how many shavings I need to make, which should just be 5, I think. And then I can make the ingots, and that should finish Doomfold, which I didn't even look at Ironfold. I don't think I have too much with Ironfold, maybe a little bit more. Okay, I have like 4 of the high grade ones. So Ironfold, Scorn, and the whole point of this, ooh, that's expensive. I might, so the full 150 is much better price. But it's going to take half of my gold, but that will finish Ironfold, and the whole point of this is to get to Minas Ithil so I can gather the Minas Ithil stuff. So because of that, I am fine spending the last half of my gold, or half of the last of my gold on it. So that means I have probably spent over 1800 gold on crafting. I had 2000 to start. Actually, see, my XP bar has gone up some. It's like you don't get too much for the individual crafting you do, but if you craft hundreds and thousands of things, especially, that actually turns out to be a lot of XP I could get. If I crafted 1,000 things, that would be 300,000 XP. Right? Yeah, that'd be 300,000 XP. So doing like 3,000 things, which is an insane amount of crafting, but that is a way you could level up. That'd give me 1 million, and I'd be like a 1/7 of the way. A little bit less than a 1/7 of a way to the level up even, but yeah, you could craft all the way up to level 130. It seems like it would go extremely slowly, and if you're buying all the mats would be extremely expensive, but I guess it is an option. That's one thing with LOTRO. I feel like the crafting XP, the amount you get is good. So at like low levels, it can be pretty significant. If you're going through crafting, you can get your alts to like level 20, especially if you only do it. If you're a VIP, you get like 30% of your level as bonus XP. It functions like rested XP is what I always call it, but yeah, I need 400. If I was just doing these, that would be like 50, so I'll do 25, and as far as I know, I'm not thinking too much, that should be good. But yeah, you can get like, if you use the bonus XP, you can get to level 20 and stuff pretty easily just from crafting. It just takes a little bit longer if you wait for the 30% bonus XP if you are a VIP. But otherwise, you can just straight craft, and it's still not too hard to get level 20 if you have the mats in, depending on what you're crafting. A lot of my alts on Anor that I more recently leveled, I've done a lot of it just crafting because it is pretty easy. And you can do it somewhat, mostly AFK. Yeah, so Oscrow, as you mentioned, you do need to like level an all regular and do the gathering and that type of stuff. If you are new and broke, that is definitely true. Because I play so many alts on like Anor, I have a bunch of crafting ingredients and mats from lower levels just that I've accumulated and not used. And then on like this server, this character, I used pretty much everything I had on my alts, and that wasn't enough because I didn't quite have as much saved up as I thought maybe I did. So yeah, it's definitely tough on an alt. Or not even on an alt, but if you're a new player, you can't just craft to level up. But as far as like if you're working on your alts and stuff, I think the XP you get from it is nice. And at like high levels, it didn't really do all too much for me. All that crafting contributed a little bit, but I did do a ton of crafting. And speaking of a ton of crafting, I should probably put all the stuff back in my shared storage. This is probably going to get pretty full pretty quick, but I'm going to put it down there just to keep it separate a little bit. Actually, I could put it up at top, it doesn't really matter. Oh, now I'm just going like way unorganized, but this is, the shared storage is pretty much stuff I just have left over from Loueyden, his crafting. So I don't care too much for it to be like extremely organized, as long as it's a little bit. And I want to put everything that's not Minas Ithil tier preferably in there. So I have like Minas Ithil Skarn I want to keep. Kalinor can put that. Lingazor, Norianor, and the rest I think is going to be Minas Ithil. That's iron folding it. And all that stuff, if I ever get around to it, maybe I will go on like my bank alt and sell that. But we are done with crafting finally. That actually did take a while. It took like 20 something minutes. So this is around when I had the stream scheduled. So it's actually kind of good that I'm actually getting into the action with the book quest now that like it's time for when the stream was originally scheduled, since I did start a little bit early. But I believe I got a full set of armor from quest rewards. I just want to see what it cosmetically looks like before I go around destroying everything and maybe even like putting it. I have a red dye already, so let's see. I don't think that is the most appealing look. It is like a full set of armor. I got the heavy armor one, not really paying attention. So unfortunately, I don't think it will be that good cosmetic, but I actually, on this character, I paid attention and decided to save everything. But I think it is time that I can unlock all my gear pieces here and destroy them. So we'll see. Let me just make sure. I think there's a limit on like motes of enchantment you can have, or embers. 10,000 is the limit, so I should not be getting nearly that many. If I can find my Flame of Encalamir, we can go ahead and destroy all these and see what we get. I think it actually lists that they're all worth the 100 embers of enchantment, but yeah, so just got a few 100 embers of enchantment from that, but all at once, so that's nice. So I think it is time to head to Vales of Anduin and do the stuff for Grimbjorn's Lodge and the book quests. So defeat orcs, defeat orgs, collect firewood. Just a bunch of like totally random things I have to do here in the Beorning Lands, but that is okay. It's kind of weird that you're doing all this stuff with the Black Book of Mordor way east of Misty Mountains in the Beorning Lands, and you went to Mordor Besieged like through the story, which was pretty neat the way that was, but then I guess you travel all the way back to Mordor, but a different area, and you travel to the Minas Morgul, Morgul Vale. And I really can't tell with this map what the actual quests look like, to be honest. So, or not what the actual quest, what the zone looks like. It's just hard to tell on the map, I think, what the actual like features of the surface are. It's not really clear, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just interesting. I'm interested to get there, but I'm thinking that's how it will work anyway. But one thing before we get to the quest, just one more thing I want to take care of. I don't know if y'all like That's one thing just with this stream. I decided to start it when I was crafting before I actually got into the action with the quest, but just like the taking care of things that I am doing here, I don't know if that's like somewhat enjoyable to watch or not. So I need acquaintance with the wilder folk to get my muster, and I need more ghoul marks. Got a surprising amount of ghoul marks just from what I've done in here. But anyway, what I was going to do was go to this guy and see what he has. So he has Scroll of Empowerment 74 for 100 embers, or for 1000 embers it only goes to 79. I'm not sure it's that big of a deal where I want to spend 900 more embers just for 5 Scrolls of Empowerment, because as far as I know, you can still get plenty of marks running instances and barter for those, but I'm not entirely sure that's the way it works. But I would like to go ahead and do that, I think. Let's see, let me just make sure. So the max tier Starlit Crystal, mine, the one it actually gave me, is much higher than 58 and 63. So don't need to use that. The main thing is the Scroll of Empowerment. That one's actually going to be useful because all mine are stuck at 52. And getting that will be a bit of a help. So the main ones that I'm really interested in that are 1, 2, 3. I really only want 3 of those on the spear. So I'm going to like kind of keep it to a minimum of what I get for now, just to be on the safe side. Android maneuver damage. I don't really care about that one. Fist Gambit skill damage, definitely want that. Javelin of Deadly Force is odd. One thing I have been doing is playing the yellow line more. So maybe I could definitely look into more of those gambits or more of the legacies with those, not gambits, and see how those are. But anyway, I think I will just get 1 for the ranged weapon. So we'll just use 4 of these for now as kind of a baseline. So the spear, I wanted range damage, definitely. And the spear, I also wanted light damage, definitely. 2 good things there. And then also for the spear, surety of death damage, and then for the javelin we will get Fist Gambit skill damage, and just leave it at that for now. I wonder if ranged resounding challenge, that should count, I would think. Oh, I guess I can't do it on my worst deed. That should count, I would think, at least as a Fist Gambit, but not entirely sure. Oh, these barter people are open. I don't think I had them before. Maybe I didn't have enough reputation. I thought you had to like do some quests and they'd finally appear, but anyway, it looks like the quests I actually have are near Grimbeorn's Lodge, which kind of makes sense. So we'll head up north and actually get to questing after this long while. This is a very nice zone, just the environment. I know I often criticize bushes in LOTRO, but these bushes aren't actually as bad. They aren't the super ugly variety that are in a lot of the areas of LOTRO. So they just add a little bit of color and I think neatness to the landscape. They complete it more. These bushes are a little bit greener, but they're kind of the annoying type ones, but not that much to me compared to some of the other ones in the game. I just thought I'd comment on that real quick, that there are some bushes in LOTRO that I do like not mind as much, and these are kind of that type. These ones, they're a little bit annoying, I would say, but just because they actually have like color and don't just look like sticky, pokey branches type thing. It's kind of hard to describe without actually seeing the other ones, but they definitely look a lot softer. I think just more pleasant to my eyes, really. So I had my windows open this morning and it was like 50 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It was getting a little bit chilly, but I knew like I don't have my air conditioner on or anything while I stream and wouldn't have the windows open. But it actually warms up pretty quickly in here, I guess, without the... Ooh. Get one of these pages, even though I don't really care about it too much, to be honest. I'll go ahead and pick it up just because it's there. Now, hopefully that quest will just stay untracked forever, and I'll never get it done, and eventually I'll cancel it. Is probably how that will work. But anyway, we can kill some orcs and Wargs, I don't think this is the area. I think I need to go maybe north. Maybe there are some orcs towards the Wells of the Lang Flood. And the wargs, I'm pretty sure there are a ton of them to the northeast there. And the other thing I needed to do was collect firewood. So I'm not entirely sure where that is, but now that we're actually getting into the quest area. Another thing with Vales of Anduin that I like is this area. I think this is, it reminds me, I always say this, a little bit of the Shire, but it really does. It's a bit more colorful, and there's fewer hobbit things going around. I think it just has that new style of LOTRO where landscapes are a lot bigger in general. So like the Shire, it's not like it's a small area, but it's more of a small cohesive feeling zone, or landscape at least in the zone. Kind of the older style that other MMORPGs often have. LOTRO went a little bit crazy, I think, starting with really West Rohan with the zones, making them insanely large, which in part I think was due to the War Steed, and probably in the Lord of the Rings they were pretty large areas. So I'm not entirely sure if there are orcs up here, but I thought this is where I needed to go with the orcs. It looks like this starts a quest, the Collar. It's 120, pick up the unusual collar. Sure, so I just have to return that to somebody, nice. Terror from the Floodfells. I thought I saw something about Floodfells. I actually thought it said Lang Flood. So I didn't know if it would be a level 30 quest. Oh, Floodfells is a place in Lang Flood. I'm really excited to get to that, just because I enjoyed Vales of Anduin and it's like continuing this stretch. I am really excited to get to that zone, but first we have to do Minas Morgul, which I'm also excited for, just excited for a lot of things. But let's go ahead and get to some combat, because I have been talking forever and haven't really killed anything. Kind of similar, I was doing Edoras on my Runekeeper, I think Friday? What is today? No, on Wednesday. And I didn't really kill anything that whole time there. So I'm already on Vales Orcslayer Advanced, even though I haven't done any of like the regular Vales of Anduin quests. I've just done what I've run into while doing the book quest, and just because it's bothering me, I'm going to kill this Balefly, and maybe eventually I'll get the quest done if I have to stay here a lot more for the Black Book of Mordor. But anyway, just to have the quest for when I run into them, I can think about using a single gambit, and that takes care of them. Nice thing about Orden, the yellow line spec, is you just use that one skill, and at least with my power level, that just like kills them, and that's fine. Just to track my progress, I'm kind of curious how quickly, you know what I just realized? That only gave one. So let's see, that's 52 out of 53, max tier 53. I wonder if the scroll of empowerment I bartered for only gave you like one scroll of empowerment worth, and it meant the maximum that it could work up to was 63. I wonder if that's how that worked, and I was like totally didn't know how that worked. I thought it was like a catch-up mechanic that you just use one and it gets you that far as like a catch-up mechanic, but if it doesn't work that way, it's actually a bit worse than I thought. Because I thought it was, just from what I saw, is like max tier whatever scroll of empowerment. I thought it would get you to that max tier, it would make your max tier that, but if it only works up to that tier, like that's the maximum it works. It's not really as much of a catch-up mechanic, I don't think, and it's, to me at least, not as good. I really felt like a catch-up mechanic, because that's what I thought it was like a really nice addition to the game from when I took the break. Not seeing any firewood, I'm not paying too much attention. I forgot I can gather this garn. So this is the Ironfolds garn. That was one of the more expensive ones I saw. So gathering anything just while I'm out and about, I think, will be a good thing. I just gotta get used to it again. Some of my characters on Anor were that way, and I'd like always gather on them and pay a crazy amount of attention, but that was at the low levels mainly. And like my metalsmith who was going through the Great River and like Inadwaith and areas like that, I just like gathered everything that I could. So I'm actually in the Wells of Blinkflood, and I think it's a good time to test, as good as like any that I can see, if I can kill level 130 mob. Well, with that hitting, I don't think I will lose this fight. Main thing to worry about is deflections, and my strong gambit actually hit. So we killed our first level 130 mob. That's exciting. I don't even know where that thing is, but I like the transition to the Wells of Blinkflood zone. You can kind of just walk into it randomly and it's smooth. It is a little bit different once you look up on the hill, I think, actually. But there is the hill border, and there are some similar-ish trees up there. You just have the more dead-looking trees, I guess. Once you get there, it's a little bit less, like, bright, saturated green. Even on the map, it actually looks that way. It doesn't look as bright green as this area is. So I should have a ton of wargs to kill here, and then we can actually find out where all the firewood I need is. I don't know how I ended up using that gambit, but that's okay. So one thing I have talked about is that I'm like super excited to get to the Morgul Vale and the Vales of Anduin, just the new areas I haven't done with the Minas Morgul expansion, and I'm excited to get to the instances and all that sort of thing. But I guess I'll go ahead and do this quest, because getting a little bit of reputation wouldn't be a bad thing, especially if I want to try to get the port here, the muster skill. I'm not sure what I need to do for the side quest. Oh yeah, burn animal carcasses. That would be the main annoying thing that I have to do, like more than the book quest, but I think that's okay, we can do that. I can get my ironfold hides and probably some deed progress. Oh, there is Warg Slayer. And just because I like this area, it's fun to do. I remember on my first warden, this was actually extremely difficult, so if anybody watched me going through the Vales of Anduin on that warden, I was like, I think level 118 actually at the time, because I didn't quite get through all of the Arid Mithrin, because I started to spend all my time on the legendary servers, because they were released like pretty shortly, I think maybe a month after the update with Arid Mithrin and Iron Hills. And I think on my warden I was like just getting to and starting, what's that one guy's quest? Radagast quest in Arid Mithrin. That was actually a somewhat interesting area, I will say, in that zone. But then the legendary servers came out and I just spent all my time there. Wasn't interested in update 23 as much. So I was still like level 118, and trying to think here. Yeah, started this zone, and these wargs were pretty tough. And compared to Loueyden here, who's not only level 123 but has the OP Valor gear, it's like I don't have to really care about any amount of mobs I pull or anything like that. So it's just like a completely stark contrast because of mainly gear reasons, but level plays into why my gear was a bit weaker. So I just think it's interesting comparing my experience on that warden to this warden in the same zone. Alright, so I'm just like totally missing, I guess, the animal carcasses, because I still need 6 more. And one thing, this is totally random, but just thinking about Loueyden the progress where I will be going with him in the future, I did get my notes for Mordor Besieged, so I'll do a zone review, a little bit of a zone review for that, since it was a pretty fun zone. I think it's definitely worth talking about. One thing I have noticed that I guess would be a little bit bad, but not like anything seriously bad, is just like my videos have been not getting as many views as my old videos, which is expected, but it's kind of odd considering my streams are just about where I left off with them, getting like similar viewership throughout the stream. So it's just a little bit odd, because I actually started mainly making videos, and then after doing videos I started streaming and making videos at the same time, and that's still what I'm doing, but it seems like I have even been a little bit more focused on the streams, because I try to do something. I have like some sort of content every day, and I really enjoy streaming and just playing through LOTRO in the evening, my time. Of course today's the morning, so that's just kind of why I have been streaming every day. And even some days I'll like have a video and then stream on the same day. I think I had a couple of those the past week, and I did have some of like that back in the day. Maybe going forward I'll be like busy getting ready for tests and things like that, that I will not be streaming as much and maybe still have like videos. It's kind of odd, videos take a lot of work, even though like some video may be like 10 minutes. I almost feel like it takes longer to work on a video than a stream, even if the video is 10 minutes and the stream is 2 hours. Videos take long, and it really depends what video it is, I guess, as well. But the process is a little bit slower with videos, I think, is what is going on there. Wow, these two orgs just appeared out of nowhere. Oh, and another one's back. I don't know, I kind of remember something like that maybe, where it would just like keep respawning, so I could just sit here getting my work done. I don't know if that's the way it actually works, but that's the way it's seeming like it's working. We'll see. Okay, maybe it is done. It was just a little bit that they rapidly respawned or something. But anyway, got that quest ready to advance. I should have 20 ghoul marks now if I get enough reputation. I don't know what my reputation looks like. How do you get that? I don't have many reputations on this character in general, so neutral. I'm about halfway to acquaintance, I think would be it. Hi Laurel, you're swinging by to say hi and hope I'm having fun. I am having fun. Just started getting through the Black Book of Mordor, and thanks for stopping by the stream and saying hi. So pesky bugs. Don't know if I'll do that, but I will start collecting the firewood. But yeah, in general, I'm having a lot of fun on this character. I've gotten through 3.5 levels about doing just Mordor, well, Minas Morgul content with the Black Book of Mordor and the zones with it back in Vales of Anduin, but still doing Black Book of Mordor. Hi Stand, and you asked if PvP is a thing in the legendary servers, or rather PvMP. Important distinction with LOTRO. That is not on the legendary servers. I don't know if they intend to add it, or they'll probably just like add it once the servers are up to the, whenever they catch up to the level cap of wherever LOTRO currently is. So that also depends on how they decide to release content on the legendary servers. So just thinking about when the legendary servers could catch up to the cap and have like PvMP be a thing. If they release Gondor like one by one, it would take a long time, but if they released like all of Gondor, West Gondor, Central Gondor, and Eastern Gondor on the legendary servers, and let that last a few months, that would make it go through quicker, I think. So what do I need to do now? Oh, that's a totally different quest, I think. Chapter... Oh, go to the forest gate. Oh, actually I have Let me just go ahead and accept all these quests. I thought there was a quest. There's like an auto bestow quest. Maybe I should. Because the forest gate, I believe, is where I need to go. If I can get my buttons right. The forest gate is where I need to go for one of these quests that I didn't think I was going to do, the introduction Vales of Anduin. So I might need to log out and log back in to get that. So I guess I'll go ahead and do that now. I'm not sure if that's how I will get it, but we'll try that. It should just take a minute. But yeah, with the legendary servers back to the PvMP, I think that could be a few years off is basically where I was going with that. I really doubt the legendary servers would catch up to the 130 cap. We'd probably have like 140 or 150 levels in LOTRO by then, which is crazy. I think it's crazy that we're so many levels above 100, but even thinking about level 150, for some reason that's like a huge number to me. Also have a quest turn in here. Glad I opened the map and saw that red ring. Oh, now I need to find and defeat the warg leader. Oh no. Like, oh, the warg leader isn't even... I thought he would have been with the wargs. I didn't remember exactly. But it looks like that is not where I just was. And again, I'm not too interested in the Vales of Anduin quests. They're just something because I haven't done them on this character. They're like a little side thing I can work on as I'm going through the book quest. What was I pulling up? My reputation again. Getting to 10,000, I think, with the Wilder folk is just when I can get my muster and Holtvis skill. It looks like I did get the introduction Vales of Anduin quest. I didn't even pay attention to that when I logged in, I just accepted it. Or at least if I did notice it, I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, we're back to Northern Mirkwood, almost. So now I have to talk to Grimbeor for the intro quest and then search dead orcs. Guess I can get off my war state. I could pick up that note, but it's going to be like the Vales of Anduin one. It's bothering me not picking it up though. But I really don't think that's anything I would ever get done. I thought I searched all the orcs. I guess I only searched 3 of them. That's a bit weird because I really did think I searched 4 of them. So now I need to search the Beorning lands for the missing orc's hiding place. So there is a missing orc. It's interesting. So the hiding place looks like, according to the map, is southwest. It's nice with the map and the quest tracker. I know this is like an old thing, but just not actually having to search for the missing orc's hiding place. I guess this little bush, I don't really see an orc in there, so it is a good hiding place if he is in there. I searched it. Did I move before that finished? Probably got interrupted from the veil fly. That's not interrupting it. I don't know what happened. Oop. Read the crumpled note. There's a crumpled note. I'm actually interested in looking at this. So they found what they were searching for, but they want a bigger reward for it, is what it sounds like. Oh, I need to go to Grimbeor. I was going back up to the Northern Mirkwood Gate. So Stan, I just described your gameplay, you didn't even notice it and accepted it. Yeah, sometimes I'm just on like autopilot and don't actually pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm just like going about things and that's it. Which I think is, if I'm actually doing that in LOTRO, it's probably a good thing, because then I'm enjoying, I'm just keeping like my mind busy and enjoying with what's going on. Because it's one thing in like West Rohan I started thinking about what I was doing, And that made me think about that I wasn't quite enjoying it as much, like compared to what I've been doing on Loueyden on my Runekeeper, which is kind of unfortunate because I was actually excited to try to enjoy West Rohan. Oh, I need to bring it to Gandalf, not to Grimbeorn. Let's see, this is probably going to be useful because I do not have a pocket item. And, well, I do have a pocket item, I don't have a good pocket item. So yeah, I will become even more powerful because, as we all know, I am extremely weak. I actually have low tactical mitigation. I will say that it's probably one reason those sorcerers in Mordor Besieged did so much damage to me. Talk to Gandalf and complete the instance the picture painted. Expect to see some actual painting here. The Halls of Memory. This is a weird place. It's in the map as a book. That's actually pretty neat. Looks like you're supposed to be in just some sort of void type place. Move through the twisting page until you reach the Grey Mountains. Is this the Grey Mountains? I'm guessing not. This is kind of like earlier. This is a really neat area, the way they're doing this. I don't know if it was part of earlier Black Book of Mordor, because I kind of abandoned that with Mordor. I almost remember something like this. Maybe it's something I already saw about Minas Morgul rather than the Black Book of Mordor, something I previously did with it, but it's pretty neat, definitely. I'm guessing that's supposed to be Ered Mithrin because it talked about the Grey Mountains, like retelling the story here. Of course, we're in the book and it's kind of hard to see the landscape. So he, Voin, is talking about, it's actually probably Voin instead of Voin, if I had a guess. Talking about this is like no place for elves. I guess dwarves are associated more with mountains, especially in LOTRO, but even though I've always like played elves in games and things like that, and actual like games, I like jumping on mountains and trying to get to places you're not really supposed to navigate. Oh, I need to actually do something. Once again, I wasn't paying attention, I was just like letting the story go on. Battle of Fornost. That's like, that makes me think of Fornost the Instance. I'm not sure if there's probably some relation there. And then talking about Ingmarum, that takes me back to the Fornost and Ingmar days of LOTRO. Ingmar was pretty neat the first time I went through it, so I always heard you should try it at level 38 and get your Fim gear and all that, because I guess the Fim gear was really strong back in the day, and nowadays it's very weak, and crafted gear is like OP for leveling. But yeah, I started to go through it at level 38, and I know these names. We'll see who they are. Hopefully I actually know the names. I probably won't. One of them I can click now. I wonder if I'm having that clicking issue. I was having a clicking issue in Epic Battles, and it looks like... Oh, I need to examine the indistinct figure again. I was having clicking issues in the Epic Battle, and I feel like ever since that I've had clicking issues, like I can't click that NPC. And you'll probably hear me clicking. It's probably loud because I'm like clicking a little bit extra hard trying to actually click these people, but I just can't click them. And it's super weird. I don't know what's going on with that, but I've heard other people have had that issue, but I've only had it since the Epic Battle. Oscro, you said they're traditionally blacksmiths in most fantasy lore. Yeah, I think that is true. Going back to like the mountain, that type of stuff. That just dwarves are generally, can't do the maps, but yeah, dwarves are, I think, just in general associated more with mountains and like gray mountains, and elves not so much. I don't really know what I think about with elves. I don't really think like plains, so if I think of humans, I would think of forests and plains. Elves may be a little bit foresty areas, depending on the exact game or what's going on. They could definitely be associated with forests. Like, I didn't even think about Mirkwood. That's probably more elf dominant, and LOTRO. Southern Mirkwood, and then even northern Mirkwood. And I think in LOTRO as well, race of man, humans are more like plains, flat areas where you can do farming and normal human stuff, I guess. Like Gondor, Rohan, Breeland, to go back to an early zone. Alright, so that is done. This one will travel me to Finas Gost on the outskirts of Imlad Morgul when you accept this quest. So, are we ready to go to Imlad Morgul? I think I will delay that by cleaning up my inventory a little bit. Oh yeah, and I wanted to check. Yeah, it looks like whatever Scroll of Empowerment thing that I got that I thought would like take this to 69 or whatever, that did not actually do that. So that's pretty unfortunate, because that's the way I thought it would work, and I liked the idea of that. I thought it was like a catch-up mechanic, as I've already talked about a bunch. So that's unfortunate that it is not what it made it seem like it would be. Like, I can probably use a level 120 essence in my new armor piece. I almost feel like the physical mitigation one, that's probably be way more worth it than the agility, but I think you can now take essences out and just like freely replace them. It'll destroy the old essence, I think, is the way that works. Yeah, go ahead and unlock everything useful, which is pretty much every crafting thing. I can filter the champion's axe. I just want to go into Imlad Morgul, whatever they called it. Yeah, Imlad Morgul. Ready for a fresh start there and not have to like sell and worry about my inventory. So let's see what this looks like. Mordor Besieged was very nice, so, but this is in the actual like Mordor place. Ooh, it looks like they have Shadow of Mordor here. They have Light of Arendelle again. Hopefully Light of Arendelle. This is on the outskirts, so we're not at the actual Morgul Vale. Hopefully Light of Arendelle and that whole thing goes away once I actually step into... Wait, that's a bit odd. So I step, that's Shadow of Mordor, and then I just step in here, and there's still Shadow of Mordor plus 50. I think this is plus like... Oh, I get the debuff. So I still have Shadow of Mordor debuff. It doesn't actually show it once I go over here. So that's a really good thing. I wasn't really a fan of the Shadow of Mordor and the Light of Arendelle system. So yeah, the landscape itself, I think it's a little bit similar to Lingris. I actually don't remember. I'm going to go back to Lingris real quick. So Oscro, you asked, why are most dwarves portrayed with a Scottish accent? I don't know if you're actually asking me that question, like as if I know the answer, because I don't know the answer, and that's pretty much... I don't know what this looked like before exactly up this hill. But I thought Lingris, at least landscape-wise, was one of the more interesting areas as far as Mordor goes, but I really want to get out of there. I just wanted to take a peek in to see what it looked like to get an idea of the transition here. But yeah, I'm not sure why dwarves are portrayed with a Scottish accent exactly. I just know that's like what they commonly are. Yeah, this is a little bit more like Mordor Besieged, I would say, than Mordor. It's less like fire and all black. It's dark, but it's also nighttime. I don't know what it would look like here at daytime. This is a pretty extreme landscape. This is pretty mountainous here. Rath Duoth, that sounds very much so like a Angmar place again. Another thing just to remind me of Angmar. I feel like I'm not actually getting in through here, but there is Ram Duoth, and this one is Wrath Duoth, I think. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. It's just another thing to remind me of Angmar. A bunch of things are reminding me of Angmar with the Minas Morgul content, like in a good way. I know a lot of people didn't like questing through Angmar and all that stuff, with how like dark and creepy and all that sort of stuff that it was, kind of gloomy. But I enjoyed the experience there. It made sense with what was going on. Oh yeah, and there's the actual Minas Ithil. You can see it a little bit. That is one concern I have. If there's a lot of questing inside Minas Ithil like there was with Minas Tirith, I don't think that would be that great of a thing. There is I don't know if this is like part of a quest item you have to pick up later or what's going on with that, but that's pretty neat to see weird mushrooms growing out of the ground. Just like that. So Oscrow, you were asking me if I like actually knew that. No, unfortunately I don't. I wish I had an answer for you there, because that is an interesting question. But yeah, I don't know why dwarves usually have Scottish accents. And hey Mortenrose, nice to see you here, as I guess I replied to your comment on another stream that you can't make the evening ones because it's like the middle of the night. That's one reason I'm trying a morning stream here, that it is more friendly to players of different time zones. I don't know if this will, I guess I could consistently become something Saturday morning. That would be the time, I think I mentioned, for me to do my morning streams, but this is a neat plant. It's like got a nice colorful glow to it, but it is also that dark and just has the dark atmosphere. But it's pretty neat. Anyway, getting distracted by the random things, which I think is a good thing. If I can get distracted by random things, that is probably in a good way. It is a little bit dark here. I will say the landscape, the actual like where you're walking is significantly lighter than I thought a lot of Mordor was, like in a good way, but like just looking at the mountains is also probably because it's nighttime, it's 4 dawn. It's a little bit extra dark. So James Beveridge, you said you enjoyed Angmar, especially the Uruk Slayer title. I don't remember the Uruk Slayer title. This looks like a camp. I guess it's where I need to go. I haven't been paying attention to where I actually needed to go. I was just walking around. So I am interested, what level quest? Because the Lost Lore I picked up is 127, but I don't think that represents what I will actually be doing. So I can untrack all the Vales of Anduin quests. Oh, I forgot. I meant to explore Kidzul Kala, but never got around to doing that. Imlad Morgul, that is what I am doing. Don't want Lost Lore Tract Festival, that's still going on, I guess. It's one thing I kind of meant to try the festival at some point. I could have done that today, but I wanted to get back on Loueyden because this content is exciting. So the introduction in Imlad Morgul is to complete quest in Wrath Duoth, 15 quests to establish hold in the area. That's an interesting type of quest because a lot of quests that you get like that are like to help 4 people do their thing, and it's basically an extra quest just to tell you to do other quests. But this one is like something almost deed-like where you need to complete 15 quests. And I think that's actually interesting. I'm actually going to write that down. I don't know, I got my note paper here to write my notes down about things I like about the zones and what I'm going through with this expansion. But it takes a little minute to write me a sentence, but anyway, that is one thing I like the idea of. We'll have to see how it plays out, but when I do like my zone review, it's something I can actually remember to talk about. But anyway, we can I wonder why I can't barter this. My standing is too low, so I need reputation with, I guess, Minas people. Oh, Warlord of Ingmar is the Uruk Slayer title? That one is pretty neat. It would be fun to be. I think a lot of this is 130. I don't know if this is stuff you're supposed to like break down, if that's how it works within game, and like break down for either Embers of Enchantment or crafting mats. I don't know exactly, but maybe that's the way that gear works, or it's just like some nice intro pieces you could get. Seems like you need to get a ton of relics of Imlad Ithil. Or Imlad Ithil, Minas Ithil. They have all these names. It's like Imlad Ithil, Minas Ithil, there's Minas Morgul, Imlad Morgul. I think somebody mentioned like the reasoning behind that once, but ooh, ton of things to do around this area. And the Ram Duoth, once again reminding me of Ingmar. Kind of, it's pretty messy with all the areas you need to go with Ingmar, just a lot of different things and different places to go to. I doubt there's a way I can safely, oh, I did not mean to jump. So I was actually trying, wow, I did not die somehow. I did not mean to jump. I don't know. I'm actually going to look at my stream playback. For some reason my stream is only showing 360p. I hope that's not the case for you all and it's just my preview. But I actually stopped moving and then I slid down. Yeah, I had like a little skippity thing there. I know I meant to be swimming that whole time just to be catching up, but I was looking at my playback. I'm going to just check something real quick, make sure the stream isn't actually at the 360p. It should be at 1440p as like the maximum. Yeah, it's at normal HD. Okay, just saw that, so I wanted to double check. Anyway, so James, you are on the same quest on your champion. So that's neat. We're at, I guess, like the same period for at least your champion. I don't know if this is the way I need to go. I'm taking damage. Polluted waters. Oh my. And I'm going extra slow because I have broken feet. I can jump. It's probably a little bit annoying to hear that, but I think jumping makes you swim slightly faster. But I'm swimming so slow, I don't even know if it's noticeable. I probably should have tried to go a different way. The quests I need to really focus on are the blue one, the orange one, and the white one. The bounty ones I think will just get done. So Morton Rose, you are streaming in 1080p. That's good to know. I was just like worried once I saw 360p. I don't know how much of a benefit, I guess with bitrate, the quality even watching 1440p on a 1080p screen would still be better, but just because I can do it, I do it. Dome of Greater Deed Acceleration, that would probably sell for a lot on the AH, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, we can get on the worst deed, which should keep the travel a little bit faster. But yeah, I did not mean to jump down the water. I was just trying to look around. But yeah, so James, you said try/stuck. If I got stuck, I could have done that maybe. Dark water. Well, if I want to see what all that quest, I guess that's a book quest, just kill foes is what he counts towards. But what is this white quest? Oh, I actually have to get these noisome flowers. I think these, yeah, these are the ones that I thought looked neat. Oh, I have to burn them? That's sad. I did say they looked like evil flowers, but at the same time they were pretty neat with the landscape and just added a little bit to it. There's a war guy passed up on one of these good old wandering glooms. That one randomly stopped attacking me. That was kind of weird. Do I need to kill wargs? No, that's just for the regular quest, so I'll just keep burning noisome flowers. There's an orc. And kill any mobs that get in my way, or if I'm like gathering a few things. I also should make sure I have like ore tracked and just track things in general with crafting, so I can make sure I'm keeping up with that. And to get back to James' messages about the task, so you do task for reputation. That is something I could do. I don't think task items give like relative to how much gold there is in the game, I don't think they give as much as they used to, or at least at low levels. So that's definitely something I could do instead of selling all of them. And if that would help with reputation, it's definitely something I would want to do. So you said that overlook is tough to get back up to the camp, so surviving the jump was an okay alternative. That's good to know that it wasn't like the biggest waste of time, I guess. Normally jumping is of course quicker if you don't have a broken leg. Alright, so this is the first Ithil Skarn deposit I can get, and it's actually a rich one, so that's exciting. I don't know, the main thing I would do, I guess, with this Skarn, unless I save it for my alts, I don't know how crafting would work if I actually make my alts craft on the server again. I would probably just sell it as something to reinvigorate my funds on this character after I spent so much gold on crafting. I need to burn a lot of these flowers. Yeah, that's pretty much just running through this. I could have gone on my worst deed around all this. Don't need to kill all these mobs. Just doing that for fun. So the Grim Vale, that is a quest that I need to... Do I need to kill crawlers? Not for anything specific. The Grim Vale, it looks like I need to examine the orc corpse, and defeat Morgul sentries along the way. So that's something I guess I have to pay attention to as well as I head this way. Oh, there was a glowing page. I was just like randomly pressing delete to target stuff. Oh, it's up here anyway. And saw that. Actually, one of my attacks on the mount did like 4,000 damage. That's a decent amount. Not like a good amount, but... This is a time that it's nice to be range spec just because those mobs were ranged. I'm going to kill a Dark Water. I don't think I've killed one yet. So defeated all of the foes. Don't need Wandering Gloom. I do need Morgul sentries. It looks like I am on track with the levels, so kind of the idea I had before I got started with the Minas Morgul expansion content was that Mordor Besieged would be like 120 to 125, and then the Morgul Vale would be 125 to 130, but it doesn't look like that's necessarily the case, which isn't a bad thing. It adds like a little bit of an interesting layer that it's not just half and half. Oh, that poison mushroom you can actually attack. So I need to burn noisome fungus and destroy poison mushrooms. They really are wanting me to burn stuff. Wow, I feel like I should be back playing my Fire Runekeeper. Oh, these little mushrooms are for quests? That's pretty neat. These are the ones I'm burning too. So the two things I like noticed and picked out on my way just riding to the camp are things I need to burn. So that's a bit odd. I can't burn this set of bushes. Or the flowers, not bushes. That one I can. That's a bit odd though. I don't think I already burned that one. I wonder if I'm going backwards with this quest. I also need to make sure. So the Grim Vale, the Orc Corpse. Oh, that might be actually farther east than I am, but I do have some quests over here, so I'll go ahead and look. I wonder if I'm supposed to turn in the quest when I get here, and because I jumped, I went totally out of order. Seems like what likely happened, but not entirely sure. Kolos Mazok Seal. I am glad I noticed that. Find the Kolos Mazok socket. Okay. It's a pretty high quest if it's red for me. Waste some flowers. So I'm just going to backtrack and get one more orc sentry, and then I can examine the corpse on my way back and make sure there's nothing else like major that I missed along the way. I do see there is one of those crafting things to the south, but I'll go ahead and go up here and get my scar in this way. Oops, I did not mean to use my AoE gambit on the mob that was right in front of me. Oh, there's also the snag branches here. That's convenient. I'm still in combat with something. I have no idea what. Well, because I'm in combat, maybe killing something will help. Nope, still in combat. So looking at the quest tracker, I have the orange quest, which is poisonous wilds. I should have more of those poisonous things to kill, it looks like, over here. And there's a bunch of that stuff to the east. I don't know. So far this area doesn't seem like that it's like Mordor, where you have to basically do everything on the map. And like if I miss something over here in Mordor, then there wouldn't be enough over there to make up for it. But it doesn't look like that's the case, and one of the things I'm liking so far about the Minas Morgul zone. Oh, here's a camp. I kind of accidentally ran into this. So yeah, it looks like, I guess because I'm here I can just explore it a little bit, but the actual Minas Morgul is something you have to enter, so it's not just like open to the landscape, which is okay. Circle of the Wraith. Oh, there are enemies here. I don't know why I did not expect there to be enemies here. It kind of makes sense, but I really had no idea what was going on with this place. So these are level 125, so probably something I'm supposed to get to soon. It looks like my reputation, or did I just get White Company reputation? Maybe, but anyway, we can go ahead and leave here. I think it was just interesting to go in there. I think it could be a lot more interesting if the entire Minas Ithil, whatever they want to call it, is full of enemies. Minas Morgul. I actually have some of my quests, the Kolos Mazak things in there. Yeah, Circle of the Wraith, Circle of Sorrow, Circle of Madness, Circle of Despair. It definitely sounds like an enemy type thing. There are some snag branches. I don't have those tracked, but I've actually already found 2 without that. These are Mordor snag branches, instead of like being named Ithil, but I think the Mordor snag is the one that I'm working on. So if I did like wood, yeah, it's Mordor snag. And then I make a Minas Ithil board out of that. So it is full of enemies. That actually makes it way more interesting and exciting to explore the actual Minas Morgul part of the Minas Morgul expansion pack. I would guess that maybe some of the higher tiers are higher level and maybe even have more dangerous enemies. At least that's the way I would think it would work. I don't know if like, I think Rumor Chant the Raid is a little bit separate from that. Like not a Minas Morgul, but it seems like a neat area that an instance or even some instances could be. I know there are just a bunch of instances in this expansion. Speaking of that, oh, I kind of want to run one of them solo version just to explore it, since I know you can run them solo, but Maybe we'll save that if there's just some extra time that I still want to play and like wrap up quest sets. But I am going to, once I start getting this quest item, take my jacket off because it is getting warm in here, and as I mentioned, I had the windows open before this, so it's kind of chilly inside, but now it's getting warmed up, and I don't need my jacket anymore. I also don't know if I mentioned this, but I ate a lot of watermelon before the stream. I thought I would have to like use the restroom by now, but I did not mean to eat so much. It was an accident, and I didn't think about it being like right before the stream. But anyway, that is, I meant to mention that early on if I would like have to take a break an hour in to use the restroom, but so far that has not been the case. It was kind of, I don't know, that was really random that I just thought about it again. So James said you have to work your way up through the ruined city. Yeah, I think that'll be interesting to go through then. Even when I entered the zone I just talked about, that was one of the things I wasn't excited about, was potentially doing the Minas Morgul stuff, but knowing that it's actually under enemy hold, which makes sense if I actually thought about it from the beginning. I think it does make sense. Trees near a stone pillar, so I need to pay attention to the book quest, which looks like it is right here, and then suddenly I can like do a turn in way at the west. I'm really going backwards with this quest, which is okay. It just means a little bit of backtracking, just the way I went up and accidentally fell down to the, I guess it would be a river of like poisonous water or whatever they called it, toxic. But burning more flowers, very sad. Bats, I wonder if they are for a deed or anything. I think I've killed a bat, but we can kill that one. He's bothering me. Otherwise, quest-wise, I have the poisonous, so I need to burn noisome fungus. I've only done 3 of those, and according to the map, there should be one up there. So actually, I will go this way. Get in combat so I can use that. While those 2 dots are going on, I can go here and directly kill this mob. It's fun the way yellow line works out like that. You can just dot 2 mobs from ranged specifically and then work on 1 mob from ranged, and at least with Loueyden, kill the orc before he even got to me. I don't know if it's like DPS I don't think is or DPS, but red line I don't think is like a bad spec or anything. I'm just having a ton of fun playing yellow line because it seems significantly better than when I last played it, and I also just have fun playing the yellow line even when it was weaker. So Morton, you hate Minas Morgul the city as a questing zone. That is unfortunate to hear. To me it sounds more exciting than like Minas Tirith as a questing zone, because Minas Tirith that was just super annoying to me trying to go through that. I don't even know how many quests I ended up doing inside Minas Tirith, but yeah, that just wasn't something of interest to me. It's kind of the point. And then James, you said the Cirith Ungol quests are fun too. You did them recently on your burglar. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say the quests here are fun, and actually the ones I'm doing right now aren't that bad. I have quite a few things to do to keep myself busy as like I'm exploring the area, and of course I'm working through it a little bit backwards, but I think just having these things to do and following the book quest there definitely helps. So I think I could actually go instance. I have an instance quest into the... Oh, did I get a quest just from going in there? I didn't actually pay attention. It says secure the tower. But this is a totally... I just want to double check something. So there are... not Plateau of Gorgoroth. Pretty sure they are scaling the... I thought I got one of the Minas Morgul instances that No, that's Gladimir. That's Grey Mountains. I just want to find this again. Oh, here they are, Minas Morgul. They're like separate. So there is the Harrowing of Morgul I could do. That's like one I could do solo, tier 5, just jump in on that. Not sure that would go well. So James, I have not done the guild crafting tier as the lad land. This is actually my first time. Well, to be more accurate, this is my second time in the Morgul Vale. I clicked one of those tapestry banner type things for Mordor Besieged, which like ported me here, and then I just went right back. But otherwise, this is my first time through it. Getting to the guild crafting is one reason I like started on all this and got my guild crafting, even though I'm like no ranks in it on this character. Anyway, the Grim Vale, is that ready for turn in? No, I need to seek out another orc corpse. So getting totally distracted, I think I will do the book quest first and see if I can find 2 more maybe noisome flowers along the way, and just focus on the book quest and maybe gathering and things like that along the way. It's a nice place to go through on the War Steed. It seems like pretty small and not like a huge area. Like just a lot of the zones in LOTRO for a while were huge areas, and it's just, I think, still nice having smaller zones that would actually not be too bad to do all this traveling on a regular mount. Would be a little bit long of a travel, but because we have the War Steeds, it definitely helps with the traveling, even if mounted combat wise there isn't any of that. I guess I should check the auction hall just because I can. I'm going to get on my regular horse, partially on accident, but also that way I can easily check the AH while here. So I just wanted to see how much the Minas Garn would sell for. Oh, it looks like a decent bit, so that's good news to me, mainly because that is one of the ways I want to remake some of my gold. So poison mushroom, but I don't think I need to do those. I actually got here pretty quickly and didn't see any of those flowers to burn, but there should be plenty around, of course. So more 10 years, you say the rumor chant raid is fun too, and it might be because you play with the same people every week and we go get along so well. That's kind of like my kin on Anor. I feel like I'm enjoying some of the content like epic battles just because I'm playing with them. Ooh, am I actually going to get upgrade gear? That's weird. This, for so long, just because the Valor gear is so good, I haven't gotten any upgrades. This is going to be my first upgrade. I'm like level 123. Speaking of level 123, I kind of forgot there's a VIP bonus XP weekend. I don't know if I am behind level, on level. Seems like I'm pretty on level, but as far as like getting to the level cap, that will help. But I should naturally get that just from questing anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. But anyway, I think the Hero's Bracelet, the one on the left, is the one I will be replacing. The only difference is the parry rating versus evade rating. I think evade is more thematic. Let me just make sure that the might one, the might one also has defensive stats. Definitely don't want the will one. Just thought I would check the might one in case it was actually better. So that's nice to get an upgrade. So it looks like the next book quest will be higher level. That one jumps up to 125, so that's actually find the main entrance to the city of Minas Morgul, so that's going to be exciting, but I will do the rest of the quest outside first. And Lord Drac, you said there are like 52 quests in Minas Morgul. That actually sounds exciting to me. I like having a bunch of things to do, and somebody said they didn't like it too much. As a questing zone, it was more 10 rows, but that does sound exciting to me at least. I know at least some people that don't really like quests like that. Maybe you're one of those, Morton, where you have like just so many things to do in an area, but that to me sounds like fun at least. We'll see how it actually is when I get there, though. And then the Vale of Sorcery questline unlocks the Morgul dailies. Yeah, once I get... I don't know, I think it'll just take a bit, but once I get going through all these quest lines, then I can look at the dailies, and I think I'll have a bunch of things to do on this character even after I get to the level cap. Also have Wells of Flood, that whole zone I want to go through. So Morton, that's really weird. You boosted your captain, so kind of like I boosted this character. And he got weaker as he gained levels. You start with 300k plus crits, now you do 100k to 300k with raid gear. That is a little bit weird, I will say. Actually pretty weird. You should get stronger as you get better gear and higher level, I think. So doing less damage as you level up definitely is super odd. I don't know if it has to do with like enemy mitigation or something like that. Why do I have to cross this bridge? No, the camp is... hold up. Somebody talked about getting back to the camp is tough or something like that. I'm definitely... the navigation is going to take a bit to get used to here. But I think I have to go around this path. I actually like the landscape so far. I think I talked about it with Mordor Besieged. It's a little bit different. It's kind of greener than Mordor Besieged, at least here, but in a way that I like it. It's still got like that generally darker gloom look to it. So let me getting a lot of the fungi here, funguses, flowers, and all that stuff. Well, burning them, not really getting them. Yeah, 20% crit at 120 does not mean 20% crit at 121. I do get that idea. If you're not getting new gear as you level up, you probably will seem weaker because enemy mitigations get higher, and on top of that, your crits, your stats just don't scale as well with your level. So that does make sense that the way the stats, like the amount of physical mastery I probably had at level 120 was probably significantly higher than what I have now, and like the crit damage, the magnitude from that is also going to be lower. But hopefully I don't have that feeling with this. It just seems like the boosted gear is insanely strong for 120, so maybe if you went through like regular quest gear it wouldn't be as bad. But actually thinking about it, you just mentioned the 300k plus crits was at 120 with cappy buffs. I don't even know if I've crit near 300k on this character. I'm not sure. Warden, probably Desolation would be my best skill to get like an immediate crit otherwise. Do I just keep having to click these, or can I just find the creature? I really don't want to keep clicking them. Maybe I'll just go to the end here. And then at 130 you don't get 300k plus crits without raid buffs and cappy buffs. Yeah, I feel like from 120 to 130 you'd probably get stronger, but again with the boosted gear I think that's just kind of crazy strong, so probably plays a little bit of part with that. That looks like a much bigger bat. I might try and kill that just because we haven't killed one yet. On the other quest, it looks like the Grim Vale goes up here. That is to search an orc corpse, I believe. Oh, there are Kurgrim here. I haven't seen them since like Moria. That's pretty crazy. So that's ready to turn in as well. I really wonder how the progression of this zone will go, because it actually looks like you start in the middle of the zone. Oop, I did not mean to do that. I was paying attention to the map, then just got off and saw it too late. But it actually took me where I need to go, and having the broken legs is actually no big deal, so that jump is probably a good thing, if anything. A good thing if I didn't need to do this walking. The worst part about this game is the map. It's literally unplayable. So Reliable Outlaw. The map in LOTRO is... One thing I don't like about it is that it's like full screen. That is a little bit annoying. I wish there was like a smaller map that didn't take up the full screen. Kind of if it functioned like World of Warcraft's map, where as you move, the map just fades and you can keep paying attention where you're navigating. That would help. But if you're talking about the actual like drawings of the maps, they're okay. I like the older style, kind of actually even the one seen here in Minas Morgul and even a little bit Mordor. That map is okay. I don't think it's necessarily the best, but the Mordor Besieged one is pretty neat. It's pretty similar though in style, but I really like the older maps. Like Eriador, I just felt like these gave a good... They weren't even like that great of a representation, because these ones are basically the zoomed out landscape, zoomed out mini map. I don't know why I keep going to those barter people. I guess I want to get my like bartering on and all that stuff. So I have a few more quests I think that would play towards the introduction. The broken houses, and maybe if I have even more quests like what are they called? Not Slayer quests, but bounty quests. Oh, and I have to do this, the Morgul rivers. So that's like Anduin, like the Vale of Anduin. I think there's an Anduin river, but it's Morgul instead. Yeah, some of my favorite maps, we can go back to that. Not necessarily Eriador, like these maps I don't think are bad or anything. I just like the look of them. They were more artistic instead of like being 100% what the landscape looks like. But Dunland, I like the map for that. Gap of Rohan, so that era with maps I thought was pretty good. If we go to Rovania and Parcella Brent, this map was pretty good. It kind of continued that style. Even East Rohan wasn't that bad. West Rohan I thought got a little bit less favorable to me with the maps, but it still wasn't like overall too bad. But when I feel like they really got with worse maps was Central Gondor. I do not like maps like these. I prefer the actual like drawing ones instead of just like it's basically like a satellite image of what the landscape would look like is the best way I can think to describe it. Western Gondor also wasn't that bad as far as maps go, but yeah, that's just like with the maps what they actually look like. Kind of my thoughts on them, I guess. So I need to go up here. I have a blue quest, the Morgul Vale. It looks like that is in a few areas. A blue tracker is probably not the best here. Maybe green. I only see those two areas. I thought I needed to do 4 things for the quest. Anyway, I'm just, yeah, going up here and doing things. Okay. Orange, and that's Morgul Vale. Looks like I'll have a few things probably to do in whatever encampment that is. I guess I'll find out once I get there. Or Kurgrim. I need to kill Kurgrim, but I can probably wait on that until I get to the Daru loggers. What was that thing? A fumarole? Where is it? There are just so many different things here. That's just such a weird mob to have. I know they had it in like old raids, like Rift of Nurse Yashu is the one I think of whenever I think of fumaroles, but it's like such a weird mob to just have. I felt the need to kill it just because of that. Oh, now there's like a Morgul doing vapor. That's extra weird. Yep, I am getting more quests now that I'm here. So this is Daru Lagurs. They've broken something. Wonder if it'll tell me the broken houses. Yeah, randomly, like, what are those called? Not tombs, crypts. I don't even think crypts is the right word. Oh, caskets, that's what those are. They look like caskets, at least, that like a body would be in. And then there are whites here. It's like suddenly a dead area. And there are also Kurgrim here, and of course a bunch of skeletons and bones and things like that. This is an interesting area. It definitely gives an evil feeling. And it is, I don't know, just like evil. It's very blue, kind of light blue, almost greenish colored. It has kind of the atmosphere that I expected based on the map of like Minas Morgul, something like that. I don't know what's going on with them and why they stopped attacking. I must have not gotten them all hit with my dot is why they weren't like dying. But yeah, this is a neat area. The questing seems a little bit odd here, not in a bad way, but it's just a little bit of an odd area too. Looks like I can actually navigate upwards. Just gotta get used to dealing, I guess, with this broken houses structure. I don't know if it's intentional, but this almost seems a little pirate themed with the skeletons. It could just be their helmets that make it look somewhat like that, but I just feel like it's a ghost, pirate-like ghost type place. Kind of like what, I think Gondor or some of that was kind of themed around that, if I remember correctly. It just kind of reminds me a little bit of that for some reason. It's also raining. That might be, like, makes it feel a little bit more like that as well. I know I really shouldn't do this. I should be getting all the quest items, so it's more fun to just pull all the mobs and get all my dots on them. And it seems like one of them usually does not get hit by my resounding challenge. But otherwise, I need to get a bunch of items here. I feel like compared to Mordor Besieged, these items stick out a little bit more, so I'm not missing as many. I just intentionally ran past all of those. But we need defiled bones, so still destroying those, destroying a bunch of altars. Need to defeat more Kurgrim. I wonder if these like Daru Lagurs quests will count towards the intro quest for the Wrath Duoth to establish hold. Oh, looks like that is altars. Whatever quest that is up to the northeast. Maybe I could head that way. I think I saw a path down from there, or at least more enemies on the radar there. The mini map. I don't know why I called it radar. That's like something, I don't know, maybe in WoW. I thought that was usually called mini map, but it's something from like Call of Duty. that you have the radar that's basically your mini-map in that. I'm guessing I am going to have to jump. I don't see another way down. Let's see, that Kurgram, he was just running around, but he died anyway. Couldn't really see what path he was going to take up, but he didn't take one more direct at least. If Javelin of Deadly Force always worked, like sometimes it's kind of inconsistent if it works as it I think it's supposed to. I'm doing a really bad job with this fight, but if it actually worked all the time, it would be a more interesting skill, but sometimes it won't like hit enemies. Let's see this time. Okay, that time it did hit that, but maybe while I'm thinking about it, I can actually show one time where it doesn't work. I think if your character is like pointing up or down a little bit, it will often not work, and it's just a little bit off sometimes and won't work. And I mean won't work as in like hitting the enemies that it seems like it should be hitting. Even if the actual javelin, the one you kind of see, looks like it hits enemies, sometimes, at least from my experience, doesn't actually hit them. If I remember correctly, there is a slight reason to use that. That like you get a damage buff every time. For every target hit you gain a stack of range damage and critical damage buff. So it has that idea that it's worth it to use it for that. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the buff to actually know if that's the case, but probably won't be able to use it now. It's on cooldown and probably kill these by the time it comes off to test that. If it's like a % buff or if it gives like physical mastery, basically, I think would be a big consideration if it's worth it. And it seems to not do as much damage as I thought it did, or at least it used to. Used to do more, like, relative to the mob, more significant damage, but the buff it gave me was 2% ranged and 4% crit, so that's not too bad. I would just have to do some testing to see if it's worth casting compared to something useful like Piercing Toss there, which is pretty quick. Even the boot is probably more worth casting than that. At low levels, it's kind of surprising. The boot, I think, is the strongest range gambit. It's really odd translating the boot, which is like actually kicking the enemy, into a ranged gambit, but it's just like ranged boot, which is a ranged strike. I don't think it does anything special as far as like kicking the enemy goes. It's just like totally translated into a javelin skill. I think I missed like half my things in that fight, or in that pull. Oops, I was gonna top them off with Javelin of Deadly Force, but then they all died. So I need to get more of these bone piles, just one more, and then altars of sacrifice. I guess we can't just have those around and let them be. And then I still need to defeat Broglock the Overseer. Otherwise I think, oh, there is the Anduin quest here. The Morgul Duin, not Anduin. That's a little bit north of here though. So one more altar, and I got to find, if I look at the map I can probably see the boss guy looks like he's supposed to be northwest. And I don't think I've been up there. I've been up on the other side. So I think I will do, if I can, a big AoE pull while I'm on my war steed. We'll see how that goes. There's an invoker though. That doesn't sound too safe. Oh, there is one of the altars I need to destroy here. So after this I will try a bigger AoE pull for fun. finish that. Don't know why they randomly invited me to the Rift of Ner'zgashu. I don't think that was somebody from my kin, but that was kind of random. Wow, oh, not enough power. I'm wondering if that's why my game at mastery wasn't going off. I'm like, something's happening. I'm like lagging or something. But I think they just drained my power. There we go. Yeah, there's some weird debuffs that like drain all of your power, and then after a while you'll get it all back or something. Or you just have so much power regen, it's like you're getting it all back. Power is just weird at this level in general, just because you do get so much. I use a couple Dark Before Dawns, which I don't even think the Dark Before Dawn really helps that much compared to how like crazy power regen is at this level. Let's see, that's just like 1300 power, which is okay for an instant amount, and then it does restore power over time. Damage wise, it used to be one of the stronger gamuts because, I don't know, Ranged Warden has gone through just a lot of variations with how it is. But it used to be it just used like whatever did the strongest damage at once. And Dark Before Dawn was one of the stronger ones. I totally forgot about this, but there's like the Android Maneuver and Warden's Triumph, I guess the ranged one. Oops, I used Unerring Strike on accident. Those used to be like some of the strong gamuts as well. Let me see, just because I'm curious. I don't use this gambit that much anymore. I think it's 3, yeah. Yeah, that one doesn't seem to do. It does give me ranged damage though. I don't know, maybe it's worth using those, keeping those buffs up. But yeah, the way it used to be, you just use whatever gambit did the strongest upfront damage, and that was it. Now it seems to be maybe a little bit different, but a lot based on stacking the same ones for the dots and getting barbed javelins and all those bleeds. Oops. Maybe I'm also having a tiny bit of lag. Then I get to kill a signature, which is like... Actually, I think the last signature I had to kill, they were getting a little bit tougher over time. This one actually do get to use more stuff as well. Definitely not a challenge though. Which is okay, it's, you know, maybe partially from my gear. I would have at least decent gear from the other zone. Maybe not like all the jewelry and that type of stuff, but yeah, my gear I think still definitely helps with how easy this stuff is. I don't know if I went on my other level 120 Warden. Jumping straight to this zone would probably be rough, but even with like going through Mordor Besieged, I don't know how well that would go. So I need to gather water. It looks like right over there. A good place to sample water. Time to jump. And I broke my legs, but I'll sample this water and then I guess see where the quest takes me from there. But it looks like I got quite a few quests done. Or it felt like I got quite a few quests done. Maybe I only did like 2 and then have a turn in. The broken houses, follow the path. Oh, there's a path up there? Uh-oh. I like just jumped down. I needed to do this water quest anyway. But I guess I could have continued the path once I actually got to the top of this for the Broken Houses quest that I'm on. So we'll run back through there, see how long my worst deed lasts, and then chain pull enemies. Might as well get some killing in along the way, especially with how slow I'm running. Make sure I'm actually going on the bridge. And yeah, just getting like the 1 dot on them while I'm running, that should sufficiently kill most of these enemies. Maybe remove my debuff so I don't have the nasty power drain from earlier. I'm actually not sure if I'm going the right way. I thought this was the way I went. Yeah, I think so. Should probably get Never Surrender up. I do see my morale going down. I don't know. I'm just like pulling a bunch of mobs and letting them hit me. And my gear, while some of it is defensive focused, there's not like much mitigation, which would be helpful for this type stuff. I don't think getting like all my dodge and resistance and things like that is the most beneficial right now. Oh, another chest though. I will go ahead and stop the combat for this. Hopefully these mobs count towards a deed or something. I do need to defeat whites, not the Kurgrim though. If I can keep getting all of these chests. A Warden Spear because I'm running so low on those. At some point I might even have to destroy my Warden Third Ages. They're like the only ones I don't have filtered. Still, I think I'll be getting some of the other classes. I don't think I have everything filtered, but we can kill the signature again. I could have used my interrupt. Maybe I'll use the snapshot ambush, but he's dead anyway. Right, so there was something, maybe it's when you use the snap, or after you use ambush, I think that gives you the pretty big run speed boost, but this is where I was supposed to go after I killed him originally. So we'll continue up this way and see where it leads. Oh, it looks like it is going to place with green fire. That makes me think of Mirkwood. A little bit northern Mirkwood. So this is a new area. This is, so I have to do a turn in, but this is Gorthad Nur. This is much older than those of Darrow Largruz. Oh, and there's a quest turn in right there. Oh, that's the quest. The Broken Houses is the turn in right here. That makes sense. So finish that, complete Gorthad Nur, the Deep Barrow instance. Okay. Open instance finder. Oh, I actually have to have a quest to complete one of these instances. That's pretty neat. I'm just curious. I am going, oh, can I not do tier 5? The selected difficulty is invalid. Okay, tier 4, tier 3, tier 2, nope, tier 1. I thought I'd just try tier 5 to see how it is. I assumed it would be like impossible for me. But I thought it would have been interesting to see, but it won't even let me. I wonder if you have to go in order, like do tier 1, then tier 2, and so on, or if just like the first time you do it, you have to do tier 1. So many of these chests. But we'll go ahead and do that. I think I mentioned way earlier today that I don't know how long I would be streaming, but it's already been going on 2 hours. I'm just having so much fun. So Monday I am actually off since it's Labor Day, if I remember correctly. That's the one that's coming up. Sometimes I get those bookend holidays mixed up, which one is which, but there's Labor Day and Memorial Day, and I'm thinking the one coming up is Labor Day, but anyway, that is, like, I'm off because of that. So I might try to do a really long stream, and Monday would be a good day for it because we don't have like a kin event or anything. So if I get stuff I need to taken care of, oh, you can actually gather some Ithil Skarn in here. This is a neat instance. I know I'm just like running around pulling a bunch of things. Probably should be a little bit more attentive to the surroundings. I was kind of treating it like a quest instance, which it really is. It's like a tier 1 solo instance, but there's probably going to be like a boss fight or something, just things going on. It's almost resource instance, like kind of reminding me of that. But I might switch to tank spec. I'm actually not sure if I have tank spec set up on this character, but just because I'm playing Yellow Line so much, I might set my melee spec up to be tank spec, just to have something a little bit different, and this way I can maybe more safely pull like the whole instance. Not necessarily that I am going to do that. Looks like the objective is to defeat Shalgoth like a boss, but yeah, just gotta remind myself what I do to build. Pretty sure I get all 3 of those. One thing is the hot pulses probably still want that. I don't know if they'd be much better for a tank. Morale tap damage is one I could like think about. Even this one is like okay if I really wanted to boost my defenses. Even like conviction, I guess that'd be useful for me a little bit. Never surrender. Okay, getting the important stuff, then I can do the damage boosting stuff and see where that leads. Critical chance, and then I should get here and I can spend the rest boosting my defensive stuff in here. I don't know if I really want morale tap damage, but I have 2 more points and don't see anything particularly interesting. Maybe I could actually get that target duration. Gotta find spot for a Defiant Challenge, and I'll have so many things. So my interrupt I like at 6, so maybe I'll actually have Defiant Challenge way at 8. Or I can make it shift 4. That would be okay. Anyway, the point of that was that I can just run through this. Maybe I'll switch to melee. I can run through this and more safely not really care about how many mobs I'm pulling. Is kind of the idea of that. And now I'm back doing, oh, traps. That made me think of like a Dungeons and Dragons trap. Does a decent amount of damage. Anyway, enough running through the trap. Hi LiveVU81, you asked if there is a zone where essences can be farmed besides Minas Morgul zone. You're sick of that area, to be honest, and the rate is abysmal. Like everything's RNG related. You got back in the game for a while, so I'm actually pretty new to the Minas Morgul content. I am slow to getting... Oh, you can lure the enemies into the traps too. That's pretty neat. But yeah, I'm also pretty late to getting to Minas Morgul, so I'm not entirely sure with essence farming what is going on with that, so unfortunately I can't help. The only thing I could think of as a possibility is the... I want to see how much healing this does. I do have some food, I should probably eat that, help a little bit. Let's go faster. Let's see, this one's higher level. Somebody in my kin, actually Teacher Man on YouTube, he's my only channel sponsor, but he gave me some of the food in game on this character. But anyway, the only zone I can think of is Wells of Flangflood, the level 130 zone that came out after Minas Morgul, but I'm not entirely sure. It looks like Morton Rose said crafting. I think I did pretty much a full circle around here. Oh, I might have missed a path. Okay. I would have wanted to do a full circle anyway, but... Oh, I needed like a key or something to get through here. Is that a halberd? The ritual must be stopped. Well, that does sound like a good idea. Alright, that... Oh. Well. If I had known I could just turn around and that would let me know where I need to go, I could have done that a long time ago. This is like, I've been playing Warden so weirdly, playing Yellow Line and just spamming Range Resounding Challenge out of the... out in like landscape, so it's super weird playing like normal Warden and melee again. This guy actually has a lot of health. He says you are too late, but that's okay. It's just really weird having like a solo instance what the boss fights would be like, because usually they're pretty tough and have like mechanics. It seems like some of those, maybe on like tier 5 they have actual mechanics where it could be harder to solo on top of like just increased difficulty and mob health and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's super weird to be playing like normal melee Warden again. So let's see what Shalgoth's chest has. It has 3 sigils of Imlad Ithil, a well-preserved relic of Minas Ithil. That's level 130, so it's a rep / barter item, I think. Fellowship tradable, because I really have a bunch of people to trade with. Oh, I thought I saw some loot thing. You can actually loot the corpse. What does he have on him? Just silver. So Liv, you asked if the yellow line is better now for the Warden. I just find it pretty good with the landscape. I don't know in terms of like max DPS that it's necessarily better than like red line. I don't think it's bad. It's been updated to where it's significantly better than it used to be, and I just find it really fun, so it's also good to go through the landscape on, at least at this level. I would have to test. I have a level 85 Warden on Anor. I would have to test on her to see if that's actually the case, but yeah, I'm just going to run through all this. Let my dots do their thing and do the fun Warden stuff where you just run through. Except now I'm taking a lot of damage. I don't think there's a reason to use the morale tap. I was just checking how much damage / healing it did. Probably helps a little bit with restoring the health, but it doesn't seem like there's too much to that. Rather just straight up deal damage. And I really don't know the way to go here. This is my first time going through it. I'm doing like all this good old AoE, but it's more fun this way, I think. The only thing is these debuffs, the diseases, seem like they could be a little bit dangerous. I have very low tactical mitigation. I can use my regular heal if I need it. See, I probably have a few arms. Nope, just one arm. Arms are really slow, and sometimes if you do that, they can just take a while to follow you, but yeah. So Starwood31 says I should make a new class. I do play some characters other than my Ward. I'm going through like West Rohan on my Runekeeper, so I actually have an alt of every class, but just haven't like done anything on all of them. Warden's most fun for me, so it's probably what I like go through new content, all that stuff on most often. And Shelly, you think the Deep Barrows. So this is my first time doing any of the Minas Morgul instances. This one is a little bit, it seems like it could be tiring. It's okay to go through on my own. I don't know like fellowship versions of it, how it is, but at least the solo version is okay so far. The environment is not the most appealing environment to me. It is just like Deep Barrows with a bunch of Kurgrim and crawling arms and that sort of stuff. One thing I've noticed just playing tank is all the shouting again. It was almost kind of nice not having all that, and I know you can filter it out, but I'd rather have it than have it filtered. But at the same time, it was nice playing the L line and not having all the shouting on the Warden. So you don't have the patience for this game anymore, Liv? At least right now I'm enjoying going through it, but I know LOTRO can be grindy. So I'll definitely not wear yourself out just like going through the grind of LOTRO. I'm actually going to go down this path and see just the mobs here. I think it's just these two Kurgrim, but give me a more complete run through of the instance. I want to see it all, even if it's not necessary to go that way. Ooh. I want to see how much healing resolution will do here. That didn't do too much. And then the other thing I want to see, because I'm not sure how it scales at this level, gotten so used to my 85 Warden, did not mean to use my interrupt, but gotten so used to my 85 Warden where the heals and morale taps are actually relatively stronger than what I thought they were on my other 120 Warden. Join the dead? I don't think so. That one doesn't even have a message for me. Kind of disappointing. So for this instance, Shelly, you say solo is much better than duo. I wonder if it's just like annoying. Oh, do I need to kill the bone pile? I'm still in combat, probably do need to kill these bone piles. Yeah, James, as you said, some of us don't mind the grind. I think it does keep you busy and just gives you things to keep doing. I don't know what I was in combat with before I pulled this mob, probably like a slow crawling arm. Oops, misclick. It's one thing with the Warden, I talk about it a lot, but in a more ideal world, I could set up a keybind for all these Gambit Masteries, but anyway, the LI system that you mentioned, Liv, you wish they would change that? Yeah, that is, I think, was not expecting. Looks like one of those rhinoceros type things. I'm trying to think what they're actually called, but looks like one of those. Almost looked like an elephant, like a moomac at first. But we can go ahead and go down here. I really don't know. I'm probably in combat with like a crawling arm. Just because I was running through it, not really caring too much for what I was pulling. Maybe I will just run back here. It looks like I missed also one of the Ithil Skarn, so I'll get that. Yep, here's a crawling arm that was stuck on the wall. So I'll stay here to make sure he actually dies. And then I will get the Ithil Skarn that I missed. I was hiding behind that little rock, I guess, pillar. And hi, Guy Paquette. You asked what server you are on. I am on Arkenstone, so your main is a Berg on Arkenstone. Had to clear my throat, but yeah, this character is on Arkenstone. Arkenstone is like my original server, but then when Anora came out, the legendary server, I play there a lot, especially with my kinship. But otherwise, this character, at least, I'm getting back into Arkenstone and doing stuff on this server again. Oops, there we go. I don't really need to be in tank spec, I don't think, but as I mentioned earlier, just be a little bit safer so I could run through and like AoE pull stuff and not really have to care as much about like my surviving. It does make it a little bit slower, but I think, wow, they actually have corruptions. It's been a long time since I've seen a high level corruption. I don't know if it's just me not paying attention or if they actually are like relatively. I am running out of power. What is this one? So that is not a power drain. I was just running out of power, and I should restore my power regen. Should be pretty good, but I'll just use Dark Before Dawn to be extra powerful. So you said, Liv, that the LOTRO team is busy with something else. I wonder what the something else is, just the next update or Gundabad, or if they're actually like talking about something else as in reworking an old system. I wonder what is going on with that. The one thing, I haven't made a video on it yet, even though I said like a long time ago, many times actually, that I would work on a video of the clash trait points. That's actually one thing I wish they would change before even the legendary item system. I know I talked about it, and it's actually a video I had before my break. I had it like recorded, I just never got around to editing it. I technically could have done that, but the whole thing with like not really wanting to make videos with like the brief periods, like every half hour, like once a month, that I could use to work on videos. I just wasn't really working on anything in general with videos, even though I had it recorded. But the whole point is the clash trait points, and the way you have to acquire those is one of the things I dislike most in the game. So I hope that is something they also work on at some point. And I know if like somebody plays like one character and goes through like all the content and quest content, it's not going to be an issue for them. And that's okay, but for somebody like me who likes to play alts and doesn't like to do all that stuff over and over and over and over, and I could keep going on, but over again, it's kind of an annoying thing. And it's almost similar with virtues, that they're just grindy, but I feel like that's even less so. Virtues are annoying with having to grind all the virtue XP, and this is where, especially I'm playing like tank spec, so of course I'm not DPS here, but playing the yellow line, killing mobs like that goes pretty quicker, I think. My keybinds are not set up that great here in the yellow line. I have my only like random javelin skill. I should have shield piercer, unless that's only a red line thing. I just want to make sure I have everything on my bar. Even I could search it. Yeah, I'll just search it, that'll be easier. Shield, yeah, I don't have shield piercer, but I have snapshot shield piercer, which is weird. And the snapshot stuff I don't even need on my bars because it comes up, but I'll go ahead and put it that way. Put my random leftover, put this buff over here, have never surrender there, just to have my bars organized a little bit better. But I'll go ahead and like loot all these chests that I'm randomly finding, not fighting. Oh, and another thing you mentioned, Liv, making it easier with alts. That is definitely true about the legendary items. You have to get like so many scrolls and crystals, and on alts especially, it would be nice if that was not the case. But it looks like my quest, the Deep Barrow, is ready to turn in. Oh, there's something on the ground. Koloskur's seal. I don't think that's the one I needed. I needed something. Oh, I forgot I'm in range spect. It's okay, I just forgot about it, but there was something I needed with like Kolos something. Oh, it actually was to find Kolos socket somewhere. So Koloskur's is there. I thought I had another one that was like there. I don't know. That is not a safe jump. Last time I got like too close accidentally and did like some weird skippity thing where I actually fell down something like this. So it looks like I have to return the normal way. If I actually made my map home to the Wrath Duoth camp at Chad, Yule, we'll just call it Yule because I have no idea what to call it. I could go there, but I should have some quest turn-ins and things like that. So I think, because I have been going over 2 hours now and this was intended to be a slightly shorter stream, I'll have to rename it because I never actually did go to Mordor Besieged. The main thing I focused on was Black Book of Mordor, and now starting Minas Morgul, or the Morgul Vale, Imlad Morgul, whatever. All the different names for it I started, whatever this zone is. But once I get back to the quest camp and do the turn-ins with that, I think I will wrap this stream up. So as far as what I did today, I am enjoying the Minas Morgul, Morgul Vale content. Minas Morgul, I think, is the expansion, like specifically that little city type thing. But I am enjoying the zone here so far. It was kind of interesting, the going to here and then I got more quests and then I went to that thing and did like the solo instance, and it was like totally random to me that I had that, but it was pretty fun and a good way to cap off this kind of quest chain, I guess. So far I am enjoying the questing, and just in general with the expansion, enjoying it a lot more than Mordor. So I consider that a good thing, definitely. It was kind of an annoying steps to try to fight mobs on, but I think using the melee gambits helped get some of them dead, and now I can continue on. And of course, every mob knocks me off my war steed extremely easily. I'll even sometimes have bleed dots on me that knock me off my war steed. It looks like there's a camp up here. Maybe I should check it out just to investigate a little bit. But just to wrap up a little bit as far as the stream goes, one thing with Loueyden is I'm going to slightly reorganize the streams, just rename them and give them numbers again. So just because it is like a stream series, I want to get back in the habit of doing that with it. So like this one, I think I renamed to LOTRO Loueyden stream. I'll probably update it to LOTRO, Loueyden stream number 4, because it's the 4th one. And even though Loueyden, I did like all the stuff on him as a Let's Play, it was like 40 episodes or so. It's still a part of a series, as I mentioned. Besides the crafting that I have recently done, I haven't actually done anything on Loueyden off stream. Or off YouTube, rather. But yeah, I'm excited in general for the Loueyden content. And continuing almost the Let's Play, but in a non-Let's Play format. So Guy, you're on Arkansas, your main is Mary Shell, if I'm saying that right. I'm very bad at pronouncing names if anybody can't tell, but yeah, that's your burglar, I think, on Arkansas. I'm hoping, I've joined a kinship from Teacher Man on YouTube. He hasn't been in the chat today, but he's the only sponsor for my channel, or the only member of my channel, I guess is the way it works on YouTube now. I'm in his kinship right now just because I didn't have anybody to play with on Arkansas. It was a nice idea of being a part of a kinship again. This is a bit odd. I lose vitality compared to my hero's ring, the hero's ring on the left. And I lose physical mastery, I lose fate, but then I gain agility, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. I would actually gain more physical mastery with the one on the left, just a little bit, but I'm fine with the vitality for now. Just to compare, yeah, the might one definitely not worth it, and they're all worth the same, and I think I actually would deconstruct them all anyway. But anyway, yeah, I guess, oh, the Morgul doing. Let's go ahead and do that quest. Well, I don't want to leave off with that. I feel like I should be starting just a new adventure when I come back and wrap everything I was in the middle of. But it looks like we'll be about halfway through the introduction to Imlad Morgul. Which is, yeah, this is Imlad Morgul, also known as the Morgul Vale. And all that stuff. So let's see. There are bridges and things that I think I need to cross and not just jump down and not go down and swim and all that stuff. Yeah, most of the quest rewards on Loueyden I have broken down for embers. I think this one I will do the same. Actually, I can go ahead and do that, I guess, while I'm riding my war steed here. Okay, time to open the map again, and I need to go that way. Oh, I'm getting quest actions. So, this is actually new stuff to do. I'll go ahead and do this, and again, once I get back to town, that'll be time to wrap the stream up. So we'll see what Rock Mathen has. I wasn't really expecting this to be a quest camp just based on looking at it on the map. It didn't seem like there was much here, so that was just interesting to find. Now we're having orcs and orgs. That's like classic LOTRO mobs. I thought I already used one of my javelin skills. That was kind of funny. All three of the orgs died like all in the same way at the same time. They were very synchronous in their deaths and falling over. But I think here I need to, oh, I actually need to do quite a few things. I got 3 quests. I need to burn things. They really do like burning things in this zone. Had to burn flowers, burn mushroom looking things. Fungus, I think that's what it was, burning fungus, and now I am burning runes, burning spiders, burning mounds of hides, just all burning. Seems like it's not the best time to burn something because it is raining. It'll, like, stop burning very quickly. Kind of hard to get it burning to begin with. So Liv, you play on Evernight with a 130 Warden with Forgotten Gambits. Yeah, the Gambit system, once you get it down and know all the Gambits, it's good. I also played Warden like very slowly while leveling up and just used a bunch of random Gambits. So some of the ones you like never use nowadays, like Boar's Rush was one of the fun ones back in the day for me. That one actually gives an outgoing damage debuff, might be worth looking into that. Just for like general usefulness for the debuff. So Han, Swan, you did most of this area and actually ran out of things to do at level 127. That's pretty crazy. I'll see how it is with me, but there is the plus 100% XP weekend going on for VIPs, which I am a VIP. I think I need to go around, by the way, with this quest. So that'll help in case that actually happens, but there's also the Wells of Langflood zone that I can go to if needed. Not sure how exactly to go around here to go where all those mobs were, but I think that's where I need to go for the quest. I don't see anything that I can target here, but it might just take me a minute to navigate around. But yeah, I'm really liking the way the quest and the quest flow is with once you get like a few quests to do a few things throughout a few areas and you can kind of go wherever you want. So earlier I decided to go south and now I went north of the camp. But then I got more quests once I actually got to like the enemy camps. So that's one thing I'm continuing to like throughout these zones with the Minas Morgul expansion content. And as I've talked about, compared to Mordor, it is way less just straight orcs the whole way through the entire expansion. There's a variety of mobs, it feels like. A larger variety, and that's continuing throughout the zone. So I'm having a bunch of in-game lag. Hopefully y'all can see it. I'm not like dropping all my frames. There we go. Maybe I'm running into those server issues that people have. Maybe not. It could have just been like a little lag spike. I haven't noticed a little bit of like unusual lag today at some points, but it hasn't been too bad overall. So you wish you made it champion, Liv? Champion's one class I have to try again, but just before they made any updates to it, it's always been my least favorite class, so that would be one that I'd be interested to try again and see how it actually is. But otherwise, I would have to say right now, as my current experience with the classes, champion is my least favorite, but that is one reason I'm planning on like starting a new champion on a Nor. Because I want to get an updated perspective on it, just because it has been one of my favorite classes. I haven't played it as much because of that. So I don't really have that new of a perspective on it. So you think they should also shrink the levels, and it just scares people just like WoW did for the new expansion? That is something that would be very tough to work out how it actually like works in the game with the story and all that, but it is something I have a tendency to agree with. If it is done correctly, I think it would be a good thing, because like you mentioned, there are too many levels. It just makes people not really, they like start the game and they get to like level 10 or 20 or whatever, and then they find out there are 130 levels in the game. That to me would not be too exciting, or it wouldn't really motivate me to go through like a whole bunch of quests for that. But if you are somebody who doesn't mind like just going through all the quests and not really interested in getting to the level cap and all that sort of stuff, then it's like not a bad thing, and it really just means a whole bunch of content to do. So I still need to burn one more spider corpse, one more hide. I need to defeat Morgul captains. I don't know where they are. That's a strange little mushroom. I almost feel like there's a reason it's there. It's just like in the middle between these two little camps inside this area. I don't know. That's pretty neat though. So T Norgav, you can't log in at all. If you're talking about like the server issues, I don't know if there are some more issues going on. I know at one point EU players could not log in. I don't know if you're from somewhere in Europe, but I don't know why it was like a regional thing that at one period in LOTRO's recent history, it was like just a few days ago, that there was some issue with like EU players not being able to log in. I don't know exactly anything else about it other than that. I thought it was resolved, but if it's like cropping up again. So you're stuck at the loading screen and you looked at the forum and it seems others are having the same issue as well. I guess it's fortunate that I am already in the game so I don't have to worry about trying to log in. And I'm actually curious, so this quest I have for the runes, no, not the runes, the Morgul captains in Rathduoth. Oh, that's just Morgul captains in general throughout Rathduoth. According to this, that will be to the west, and maybe it looks like there's even another camp there, so eventually I'll get to that. But again, today after Rakmathan, we will wrap this up. I still need to destroy a bunch of runes though, or burn them. It says destroy them, but you destroy them by burning them. Otherwise, in this exact area, that is all I need to do. Oh no, I need to defeat Rukhuk. I really hope that's a warg. That is a good name for a warg, I think. Hopefully your issue gets cleared up, T Norgav, and you can actually play LOTRO this weekend. I guess for us in the US it's in 3-day weekend, but for you, I assume it is not the case. Oh, and here's that water quest. I probably would have forgot about that if I didn't go here. Alright, so I need to, for the water quest, oh, I need to go way upstream, so maybe I'll save that for later. I don't know, I really don't feel like going way that upstream, but I guess I could go way upstream and do that. It's kind of interesting that this water sample quest is what kind of navigates you throughout the zone so far and led me to this camp and the other camp. But I need to destroy one more rune. According to the map, that is that red one. The Howling, that one is the boss. He also is this way of me. And I think another orc hit me, but he is too far away to be taking damage from everything. If I just get range resounding challenge, that's all I really need. So good, Rukhuk is a warg. I was worried that it would not be a warg. I don't know why, it's just like a good name for a warg to me. Don't know what gambit I was trying to use there. We'll just use Surety of Death, and then I'll go through and use Desolation, and then using like all my melee dots when I could actually be using my javelin stuff, but it's okay. And I got one of the rare Mordor chests in the Morgul Vale zone, so we can go ahead and open that. Should have a bunch of crafting stuff, if I remember correctly, and it looks like that's the case. But I need more runes. Here is one corrupted rune to destroy, and I think when I went back to the town, I forgot to set my milestone there. So that's unfortunate, but that means we'll have to navigate our way back. Let me just make sure. So that, I don't know that Morgul Duin quest. Maybe I will go ahead and do that. I really hate just leaving that open like that. Oh no, I'm like skipping through the landscape. Yeah, misadventure killed me. Oh my. So now I'm at the... Where am I? Oh, I'm way over here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get the stable master here. This looks like it is a far-ranging camp, so probably the main camp. So I think I will go ahead and wrap the stream up here and not do the Morgul Duin, actually. I keep like changing my mind on that, but I do have some stuff that I'd like to get done today that I wasn't able to really do yesterday. But I will look at some of the traders here, and this looks like, so you need Embers of Enchantment and kind of regular armor, then you could get the upgraded armor, it looks like. So that goes from like item level 430 to 430, but it has different stats. It's not even like upgraded stats, it's just different. The armor is the same. That's interesting. So let's look at Warden tier 3 Net of Darkness. So this you can just barter for with Embers of Enchantment. That's interesting. You probably need like Reputation, and I was going to say probably a deed to complete the raid. So that's Rimmer Chant after completing tier 3. I could get my good old raid gear. That looks like it is tank spec. Android Maneuver is, I don't know, that one looks good for both DPS specs. This one's range damage, but actually the Android Maneuver one, -5 cooldown on all mastery skills, that sounds pretty insane. And would be good for both ranged and melee, so I feel like if I was going to build something like that and actually interested in ranged, I'd even want that over 10% range damage. But anyway, that's just neat to see. I am curious what they look like. Going to be honest, this does not look like the best gear so far, just from what I've clicked of it. Best looking gear. Oh, especially dyed. Yeah, that's, I don't know, that raid set does not look good to me, unfortunately. The stats on it and that sort of stuff doesn't look bad. I will wait to accept any of these quests. I just wanted to do a little bit of exploring and saw like the barter people. Ooh, the Tailor's Guild. That is something good that I need to go to, if there is a Tailor's Guild person here. Looks like there's all the crafting and all of it outdoors. No, that's Metalsmith. Scholar. Where are the good old light armor crafting people? Cook. That looks like the cook area. Jeweler. This almost looked like an area tailors could be, but that is Metalsmith looking stuff. That's Myrtle Mint, the Figments of Splendor. Oh, here? No, Woodworker. Can find all of them but Tailor. There we go, Tailor, they're just like randomly here in a non-tailory area. So what I am interested in, maybe I still have to wait for it, but I'm interested in whatever catch-up mechanics like quests they have. I guess they don't have that here, just regular guild vendors. But I thought at some point I will run into like some catch-up mechanics or daily type things I could do to get up on the Tailor's Guild, because this character has done none of that. So Guy, you are deeding in Osgiliath at the moment, Yawn. Yeah, that place, I think it's okay a little bit. I'm not too sure about deeding there. But anyway, as far as this stream goes, again, I'm really enjoying the expansion content. And I had fun doing it. If you'll like the Saturday morning streams, please do let me know. It seems like the viewership is pretty good. So it at least seems like people are enjoying watching it right now. But where do I need to go at, Chad? You will. But yeah, it is good to know if I should be continuing these Saturday morning streams. I do, at least for the next, I guess, few of them, I will try it. But otherwise, tomorrow evening, I will have another stream. I will be doing back to Anor on my Beorning tanking Moria instances. And then Monday, I talked about maybe doing a long stream here in Minas Morgul, the Morgul Vale, Imlad Morgul, this zone. So I'll look into doing that if I can get enough stuff done this weekend. And otherwise, I will also maybe start my Captain Review series, kind of experimental videos on that, and get working on more guides maybe this weekend. And yeah, that's what will be coming up. But again, I hope you all did enjoy the stream. I hope it's as fun watching me go through this as it is to actually be going through this the first time. It's exciting to get to the Minas Morgul content. And if you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing for more. And thanks for watching and joining and chatting, everyone.